Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been struggling to hit your digital networking and outreach goals, you might be thinking you just need a slightly better script, some magical new AI prompt, or maybe just a massive surge of willpower. But the sources we're unpacking today reveal something a bit more brutal. You don't actually lack motivation. What you lack is structural discipline. Today, we're going to completely dismantle your reliance on willpower. Instead, we're going to construct an identity-based daily execution checklist derived directly from 10 very specific, brutal discipline hacks. By the end of this, you'll see exactly how to architect your day so that success isn't just something you hope for anymore, it's something you systematically guarantee.
So let's contrast two vastly different approaches to getting work done. First up is the screwdriver or willpower mindset. This is that failing strategy of simply trying harder, relying on pure, exhausting mental effort to slay the dragon of distraction every single day. Compare that to the automated mindset. The sources emphasize a fundamental truth. Your environment will always defeat your willpower. By adopting this automated mindset, you are engineering a physical and digital workspace where winning literally becomes structurally the only option left available to you. It's about designing a system where you can't fail.
To build this architecture, we are going to follow a precise chronological sequence. We'll start with the night before, move right into the morning routine, lock in your execution sequence, establish high-stakes accountability, and finally, integrate the vision framework. Let's trace this exact timeline.
Step 1. The night before. Environment and biological energy.
The absolute foundation of this entire architecture is laid down before you even go to sleep. Get this. Most outreach failures are actually just going to bed too late problems in disguise. Setting a strict 9 p.m. bedtime alarm is honestly far more critical than setting your morning alarm. Without a rigid forcing function to make you go to sleep, you simply won't have the biological energy you need to attack the next day. By locking in this early bedtime, your body naturally wakes up completely ready to go, allowing you to hit your targets before the rest of the world even hits snooze.
And right before you hit that pillow, you absolutely have to clean out your digital pantry. Think about it. Just like trying to diet with a kitchen stuffed full of junk food, you cannot focus if your workspace is full of digital junk. This means ruthlessly deleting distracting apps and physically moving video games or entertainment out of your workspace entirely. You're stripping your environment of energy vampires so that the next morning you don't even have to fight distraction at all. Doing the actual work just becomes your default setting.
Software companies literally spend millions engineering these distractions, and your email, it's the absolute worst offender. Seriously, think of your inbox as a public to-do list of other people's priorities on your time. To protect your cognitive resources, you've got to turn off every single phone notification and set your devices to do not disturb, maybe allowing only your spouse to get through. Everything else, it just has to wait for a scheduled block.
Step 2. The morning routine identity integration.
Now that it's morning, we're relying on strategic anchors, not fleeting motivation to spark your daily momentum. Take what the sources call the coffee maker anchor. Say your goal is to send 20 personalized networking videos a day. Don't just cross your fingers and hope you'll remember to do it. Instead, physically place your recording gear right next to your coffee maker. By anchoring a new, difficult outreach discipline to an automatic daily action like pouring your morning coffee, it becomes ingrained in your identity. Through this kind of consistent habit stacking, skipping your outreach will eventually feel as weird as walking out of the house without pants on.
With that coffee in hand, it's time to move to the next hack, attacking the big domino. This is the hardest, highest-stakes task on your plate. It's totally human nature to pick the easiest task first, right? Like endlessly tweaking the font on a website. But you must tackle hard mode, like your high-stakes outreach or complex AI workflows first thing in the morning. Why? Because this is the exact window when your creative, biological energy is at its absolute peak. Knock down this big domino, and the rest of your day builds momentum completely effortlessly.
Step 3. The execution sequence. Cognitive offloading.
All right, with the heavy lifting of the big domino totally done, we transition into your core daily execution block. Now, the human brain is an amazing engine, engineered for solving massive problems, but it is a terrible storage unit for open loops and to-do lists. You have to map your entire outreach engine into a written sequence, from lead scraping to the personalized video, all the way to the final follow-up. By moving these tasks out of your head and onto a repeatable execution list, you completely offload those mental cycles. You stop wasting your precious energy asking, okay, what's next? And you can focus purely on execution.
Remember, sequence equals success.
During this execution phase, what you consume really matters just as much as what you produce. You have to rigorously curate your digital consumption by actively hacking your algorithm. Unfollow the energy vampires, hide the mindless distractions, transform your social media feed into a mini university, strictly curated for things like AI, media, and sales mastery. Furthermore, the sources advise upgrading your TV to a library. Invest an absolutely unlimited budget into books for your mind, and then study and immediately apply those lessons rather than just passively staring at a screen.
Step 4. High-stakes accountability, the cost of failure.
So the real trick is ensuring this machine runs every single day. And to do that, we have to confront a fundamental truth about human psychology. We will always work harder to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. You have to intentionally make failure incredibly painful. You can leverage financial penalties, like committing to a mentor that if you miss your goals, you'll donate $1,000 to a political party you actively despise. That triggers intense loss aversion. Or use public embarrassment by publicly announcing your exact outreach goals, which leverages the massive social cost of quitting. The whole purpose here is to enforce an unattainable exit cost. You're artificially designing a system where the cost of quitting is just way too high to pay, completely eliminating the option to give up.
Step 5. The vision framework. The rule of 300.
Let's move to the final piece of mental software, the thing that aligns this systematic daily grind with your long-term empire. The rule of 300 requires 3 specific things of you. First, 100% clarity on what your outreach goals actually are. Second, 100% belief in your ability to achieve them. And third, 100% frequency, meaning holding that belief and reviewing those exact goals at least 3 times a day. By rigidly applying this rule, you guarantee that your actions, your calendar, and ultimately your bank account actually start to reflect your true priorities. Discipline simply becomes the vehicle for you to become the person who is ready to receive those goals.
So, what does this all mean? The ultimate takeaway here is that discipline isn't some kind of magic. It is definitely not a genetic trait you are just unlucky to be born without. It is just structural design. From a 9 p.m. bedtime to a coffee maker anchor to a $1,000 penalty, these hacks prove that you can engineer your own consistency. So take a hard look at your environment today. Look at your digital pantry. And ask yourself, are you finally ready to stop drifting on autopilot, build the actual systems that guarantee your success, and become the architect of your own empire? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly hope this checklist completely transforms your daily execution.